Hey man, what up everybody? It's John Escudero and I'm here with my boy Mac. There's no Nick tonight because our boy is out doing the good John. I was gonna say the good Lord's work, but I don't know. I'm not really religious, and I'm not sure what he's actually out there doing. but I'm here with my boy Mac. We're here for WWE Smackdown, an explosive episode of Smackdown. What an ending! What a way to go, Lauren. Hi, thank you for joining us. She said, "Holy fork! Way to go, Motor City Machine Guns." Matthew, thank you for joining us. He said, "Motor City Machine Guns." He's so excited for them, from the TNA Tag Team Champions to the WWE Tag Team Champions, especially Jey Uso getting revenge on the new Bloodline. It's exciting. I'm excited. I thought that was one of the best Smackdowns I've watched in months. Yeah. Mac, what did you think, brother? How are you feeling?
Yeah, man, we said it before the show. This SmackDown just seemed to fly by. Like there was no fat to cut on this, man. There was no it just felt constant. Like it just kept going and going and going. This was really smooth to watch. Like, admittedly, I've been on this podcast for 2 years. I'm not the biggest WWE watcher. I don't watch NXT. I don't watch Raw.
Not anymore, sir. Yeah. You are a SmackDown. We have been on this SmackDown show together. So this is going to be a moment of acceptance for you, Mac. We have been doing a weekly SmackDown podcast for at least, how many times have we done this already? I don't even know. You are an avid weekly WWE TV watcher, my friend.
For one show. I mean, what do they got? They got 2 hours of Raw.
Well, you work on Raw, right? You work on Monday. Most people.
So listen, I work on Monday. But the thing is like I could easily turn on my iPad or turn on my phone and find a watch wrestling stream of Raw, but I just don't, because I don't give a shit.
No, I actually
if I was home, I'd be watching it.
I prefer to watch a lot of wrestling, weekly wrestling. I prefer to watch sometimes through clips and like that, just because of the nature of the show. It's very long and it's not always full of plot development. But this week wasn't one of those weeks. This week was an episode of SmackDown that was worth watching the entire episode all the way through, I thought. As we usually do here, we'll start with the end of the show, or at least what was originally called the main event. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano versus Motor City Machine Guns. First of all, congratulations to Motor City for sure, but I ain't never gonna get over this theme. Like, we gotta do something about this.
Do you think it'd be better if they got rid of the raise your fist thing?
It's not even just that. It's kind of flat. Like, the whole thing is like flat. I don't know how to explain it. It's missing.
I do like the little explosions with the song when it goes then it goes off. I do like that. I just don't like the raise your fist thing. Like, I was saying to Nick like 2 weeks ago, I go, they in their entrance, they go like this. They haven't done it. Like Alex Shelley had to, Chris Sabin had to like sneak it in tonight. He was like, oh shit, I got to hit my mark.
The camera doesn't know to focus on it yet too. But they come out, they beat DIY in about, I have to pull up the times. I usually have the times in front of me. It felt like around 12 minutes. Cage Match will have it.
Yeah, but right now.
But yeah, I had a fun time with the match. It's just the crowd was a bit quiet for it. I felt it was weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought in Brooklyn, of all places, we would be very familiar with Motor City Machine Gun. And I thought that they were excited to see them. They popped when they first came out. They chanted Motor City, but I guess just during the match, DIY is working with them. And I'm feeling like, does this mean that WWE has ruined, is DIY completely and totally cooked? Because they only inspire apathy now from crowds, and that's like painful to watch, having been a fan of what they did in NXT before that. Lauren says they keep teasing these tag team breakups. New Day, A-Town Down, and now hashtag DIY. I'm ready to see it happen. Exactly this DIY thing, I think it's entirely fucked. And it's crazy because they were just champions. Like, they just had this big moment, and it got treated like an afterthought, and they got shitted on, and it was just a transitional moment for the Bloodline.
And in the match, Johnny Gargano accidentally super kicked Tommaso Ciampa, so now it looks like Yeah, they might be. Yeah, and Ciampa walked away from him and was like, "What the hell was that?" After the match. So it looks like they might even be teasing a DUI. You know,
the DUI,
maybe DUI, DIY. It might actually breathe some life back into them if they try to recreate that NXT takeover matches that they had, because Triple H knows how to book that. You know, so I really hope I really hope that's the way that they go with it, because I would love that.
I'm okay if they entirely if they just do the NXT feud over. We'll just do that over. Like, we'll just do that on main roster TV. Yeah. I'm fine. We'll just run that whole shit back.
Yeah. You might as well, because like a couple of main events out of that, like it would really break up the monotony of the Bloodline being the main event every week, you know, because everybody's just waiting for the 20-minute promo to end the show and some more story development that they've been doing. So I think maybe putting like two guys that are, you know, that are not necessarily, I'm not going to say they're not over, because I think that, you know, as baby faces they are.
Who? DIY?
Yeah, DIY. Yeah.
No, the fuck they're not, Mac. Over where? Did you? Like I said, they inspire apathy. Like, they inspire people to get up and walk away at this point, and it's not their fault. It's the matches aura.
Start and they actually start doing their moves, they're getting cheered.
People cheer the moves, right? But they don't cheer the emotional moments. They don't clap for Johnny to get out of the fucking headlock. They're not, you know. I like they're silent when DIY is teasing like their finisher and shit. You know, like, you're supposed to be getting hyped. Like, yeah, DIY's gonna hit their finish. It's silence. They hit that knee. Tommaso hit that knee to silence. It's really.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's really disheartening, disappointing to see that, because I'm a big fan of DIY and I hate that. But Matthew says WWE's on fire. They definitely are. It's hard to argue that. They sell out every fucking thing they go to.
I just checked Cage Match and they don't have I just checked DIY and Motor City Machine Guns match history, and the last thing they have is the triple threat from last week. And if you look at this. If you look at this week's SmackDown, it just tells you the card. It doesn't tell any time, so they haven't updated it yet.
Lawrence says DIY equals potty break time, and that's the truth. That's just the way that they've been booked. They have negative aura right now. It's crazy.
Is it because I'm holding on to the nostalgia of the NXT takeover days? Yeah,
but I love them. You don't have to stop loving them to know that they suck right now. Like, not them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not them. Not them. They don't suck. You know what I'm saying? They got booked like nobodies for so long that people only see them as nobodies, and it's really hard to watch as a fan of theirs. But they also they lost tonight, and DIY Motor City goes on to, they were gonna, I guess, do it next week, or there was no real date for it, and then the Bloodline comes out and they're like, you should do that shit right now. And as the heels, or as the baby faces, they were like, you know, hell yeah, let's do it right here in Brooklyn. And surprisingly, DIY, thinking they had the advantage, they were like, hell yeah, let's do it right now. But no, the Bloodline, the original Bloodline. First, Jimmy gets involved. Then Roman comes out, and they brawl off the extra members of the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu and Solo. And they leave the ring with just Motor City and the Guerrillas of Destiny. Which, by the way, Guerrillas of Destiny versus Motor City Machine Gun in a WWE ring. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. But yeah, finally Jay Uso comes out. He gets involved. Motor City Machine Guns, 1, 2, 3, new tag team champions. This was aired on like tape delay. Yeah. So I got it spoiled for me.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I was like, fuck. I'm trying to do the coverage for SmackDown on the page, and I needed a screenshot. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, what just happened? Yeah. Matthew says he thinks the new Bloodline versus the old Bloodline at War Games. Yeah, that's about the way that it's looking.
More.
We're just missing one more, baby. We just need to get Mr. Uzi back. Let's go. Let's go.
Now, I said this to you in the chat about maybe a week ago. I said, if you think that taking Cody's side is going to break him. Imagine what it's going to do to him to see Sammy get back with the bloodline.
Yeah, they're treating him like a monster, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But Motor City Machine Guns, new tag team champions. Do you, Mac, or do you, anybody in the audience? You guys can leave us chat responses, of course. I know that it's a minute delayed between the responses and what we're actually saying on screen, so don't worry about it. If it feels like I missed you, I'll get to you. But is this too soon? I thought it was an awesome moment. But I had a friend of mine. I won't say his name because I don't want him. He'll change his mind on this, I'm sure, maybe. But he felt like this was too soon. I was like, well, I can see that argument for me. Not necessarily agree with it, but the idea that if the crowd doesn't know who they are, then does this mean anything? And is the title gonna get them over, or are they gonna get the title over, type of thing? But I'm actually okay with this for a number of reasons. One, because the tag titles have been attached to a faction warfare storyline, which is not really good for tag team titles. And before that, they were attached to what's pretty much, it was a comedy act in A Town Down Under. And so I'm ready to just see a real team with the WWE Tag Team Championships.
Yeah. With me, the thing is like when they broke up the tag titles at WrestleMania, and they went back to the Raw and SmackDown titles, and I'm glad they changed them to the WWE World Tag Titles and WWE Tag Team Championships. That was a good move. I don't think, like, when they had them on Priest and Finn Balor, they were the hottest act in the company, and they had just taken them off of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who had just taken them off of the Usos. So you had three, like, strong teams right there. If they had put the unified WWE tag titles on Motor City Machine Guns, I would say it was too soon. But it's just a brand SmackDown title. I'm not diminishing that. I'm not diminishing it by saying
yes,
that.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You can say you're not, but you are. You objectively are.
I'm trying to justify it to myself. No. But I'm just saying, like, putting it on Motor City Machine Guns and having them the SmackDown Tag Team Champions is completely fine. But I'm saying if they had them win the unified titles, appearing on both Raw and SmackDown, I would say it was too soon. But just one set of titles, I think it's fine. I mean, they had them on Miz and R-Truth.
That's what I mean, though. Like, these belts, essentially, and the fact that they're new, like, okay, I can see the train of thought you're coming from. I don't necessarily agree that they matter less because they're not positioned that way on the television show, like the way the story is written. I'm trying to just take the story at face value. But the idea that the belts feel like they mean less, because look at the people that the undisputed tag team championships had. You know, look at the champions they had. They had the Usos, who were regularly defending them. You know, and they were cheating in the end, bloodline stuff. I don't know. They were heels. I never had a problem with that. But they were a big ass deal, and they main evented WrestleMania with those belts. You know what I'm saying? And then the new belts have been held by really lesser acts. Both brands. You know, and both of them have problems. So I can see how it just feels like all those fucking split belts mean a lot less.
But I think Lauren just said too, like the Tostino's belts, the big giant microwavable pizza belts, they haven't been defended at all. Like when Miz and R-Truth defended them against McDonough and Finn Balor, like I think that was only like the second time that they had defended them on TV. And I don't think McDonough, and I think they defended them once against the New Day. And now they're doing this tag team title tag team number one contenders tournament on Raw, and you're going to have Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee probably in the end versus Eric and Ivar, the War Raiders. And you're going to have a good match regardless of who wins that match against JD and Finn, because all three of those teams are very capable of putting on a great match. But the SmackDown tag titles have been defended regularly. It feels like almost every week. And then, you know, we forget that the WWE Tag Team titles were just defended in a 3-way ladder match just 3 weeks ago, which was awesome. They feel important.
Yeah, no, they do feel at least they're on the show for sure. But not to move on completely. Well, Matthew says he agrees with Lauren because Balor and JD need to lose those titles. But the Bloodline, after Motor City Machine Gun celebrates their tag team title win, Jey Uso's in the ring. Jimmy Uso comes out. It finally happens. The Usos reunite. Jimmy in Jay's ear says, "I'm sorry about the WrestleMania match." No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. But the Usos reunite. Roman's looking on. I want a hug. Roman wants a hug. Clearly.
You know what that reminded me of? That moment is when KO and Sammy finally hugged after the whole end of the Bloodline saga.
It felt good.
Yeah, felt really good.
It felt good to see the Uso reunion, Matthew.
Yep.
I agree. I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
Now, let me ask you a quick question, John. While I was watching Jey Uso hug Jimmy Uso, I kind of felt like, are they going to go back to the Usos? Are they going to go back to them? Because Jay is a tremendous, I'm not going to say a tremendous single star because I think his gimmick is more over than what he does actually in the ring.
I think when it comes to WWE television, like that's what you need, right? That's what does it.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's incredibly over. Like I don't ever go like, that Jey Uso match was like so technically sound. I kind of go, oh shit, look at the crowd and look at how glued they are to just like him and the whole Yeet thing, you know. But I was wondering, like, are they gonna after War Games, which is this is clearly leading to, are they gonna stick with the Bloodline again, or is everybody gonna go back their separate ways? Like, because I think that taking Jey Uso out of the singles game would be a mistake, man. We've already seen the Uso thing for 4 years while they were holding the tag team titles, and I don't know, man. I still kind of have Uso fatigue a little bit. It's only been 2 years, so I kind of want to see, Jay say a single star.
I think in the world of pro wrestling, 2 years is a long time. I think there's people who started watching that never saw the Usos together. No, But like Lauren says, it might have felt better if Jay still had his IC title. He might have felt equal. But I think that this time around, they're not going to position the Usos as Roman's lackeys. And that's going to be important. I think that's going to be important towards being able to continue using Jay as a main eventer or at least upper mid-card the way that they've been using him. That's going to be important. And I think that's completely possible. I don't think they're going to have an issue with that. I think Jay's going to be fine. I don't think that having the branding of the Bloodline disqualifies him from having his own storylines. It depends on what the company feels, like, are they going to want to, if Jay's part of a Bloodline storyline, are they going to want to overexpose him? No. So when he's doing this Bloodline versus Bloodline story, he's probably going to be an Uso, a Bloodline member, 3-way, 6-man tags, tag team matches. But when the story's over, I don't think they have to break up for Jay to be main event Jey Uso, is what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's been, WWE likes that trope of, breaking tag teams up if they're going to go single. Like, they're really drawing out the New Day, or whatever the hell they're doing, because I think they're waiting on word from Big E. But every week it just seems like, because what's his name? Xavier Woods and Kofi and Big E always said, we don't want to break up.
Yeah.
We told management we don't want to break up. And if you want to split us up, we don't have to do a turning on each other angle. We can just break up, and then when it suits us, we can get back together. So maybe if they do something like that with the Bloodline, where they're like, all right, Jay, all right, we vanquished Solo. Solo acknowledged me. I'm Roman again. and Jay can go back to Raw and maybe periodically appear on SmackDown when we need him to do like 6-man matches or something. So it could absolutely work out. I just don't want them to kill Jay's momentum. That's all.
For sure, I agree with that. But I guess that there's pretty much all there is to say about the Bloodline right now. I know that they're taping SmackDown next week as we speak because they'll be at Crown Jewel. But
I'm following along
now,
on the results right now.
For now, we'll just move on. It was a great ending, but it was also a great full episode of SmackDown. So let's bring it back to the beginning. We opened up with Randy Orton walking through the gorilla and going up to Triple H. I thought that was really cool, actually. It was really funny. He's like,
having
hey,
a very animated conversation with Triple H.
I have not seen you all week, presumably, because why else would we be having this conversation right now? And Triple H is like, get out there. And Randy goes out there and he's like, fuck that. I want Triple H to come out here. And so Triple H comes out and Randy says, you're protecting Kevin Owens from me. Why? And Hunter says he's not protecting Kevin Owens from you. He's trying to protect you from Kevin Owens.
Now, can I just mention something really quick while this was going on? I don't know if this was a work or a shoot, but when Triple H came out, he said, he goes, oh, I don't want to get into this right now. Like, I don't want to get into you being late for call time today.
That's actually really funny. I think,
and I was like, oh shit,
that
was
Randy
real. Really late?
I bet he really was late. Matthew says that face to face was wild. It was a very cool opening segment. Randy says to Triple H, Triple H says to Randy, Kevin Owens has never fully trusted anyone. The only people that he's had around him are people that he's tolerated until they got in his way. And then he turns on them. He says Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, he actually trusted. He opened his heart to them. And for the first time in his life, in his mind, they turned on him. It's broken, Kevin. There's something different in his eyes. Triple H does not want this broken ass old man version of Randy Orton to go against the prize fighter.
Randy Orton has fought Gunther and got chopped to hell. Like, had like a knockdown, like drag out fight with Gunther. And he's worried about Kevin Owens.
Tony says chewing on your fingernails is not good in a live chat. Tony is not aware of some people's ability to just do things without thinking of them. That's
Tony
cool.
doesn't have the inability to not type shitty things on the stream. So, Tony, when you have your own massively popular podcast, you can tell people what to do.
Hunter says, where was I? I'm trying to get back to this damn promo. Yeah. Triple H says to fucking Orton, Kevin Owens gonna kill you. Orton says, I didn't ask for my protection. I didn't call out Paul Levesque. I called out the cerebral assassin. You tried to kill me once. You know what I would do?
You threw me through my window in my house.
Threw me through my living room window. Orton says, you really want this? You better protect yourself at all times. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens is officially on at Crown Jewel. Mac, what did you think of this opening segment and the idea that this match is booked at the pay-per-view?
Felt like Triple H coming out was cool. He teased it last week. I think that it kind of dragged on a little bit too long. They were just kind of like, Triple H just kind of kept saying the same thing over and over again. He's like, you're not getting Kevin Owens. I want Kevin Owens. You're not getting Kevin Owens. I want Kevin. Like, all right, dude, just get to
That's how arguments work.
Yeah,
that's what made it feel intense. I thought and real was that it had a more casual.
4 or 5 times though.
Yeah, I mean, I never felt. I felt like they were like screaming at each other, like I can't do this, and this is why. That's right. They brought up that Raw 2009 segment, like
Randy's
we mentioned.
fake wife.
Was it? Was it an actress?
Yeah, no,
that's right.
That was not his wife.
That's interesting. But
yeah. I thought it was good. I mean, I thought, but the thing is like,
I lost you entirely.
Hold on.
This guy, he just goes mute on me.
How about now?
I hear you.
Okay, so I get that they're trying to build up that Kevin Owens as like this unstoppable, like justified like monster, but like Randy's been in some pretty hard hitting matches since she came back. So, unless Triple H knows something that we don't know, and Kevin's gonna like come back and start package pile driving people and doing the Steenalizer into the ring post, like I don't know, man. I just kind of didn't buy this. I'm protecting you from him. Like Kevin Owens hasn't really done particularly anything like sinister. Even when he was a bad guy, he didn't really do anything sinister. He kind of like did that thing at NXT with Sami Zayn powerbombing him over and over and over again until they stopped the match. But like, I really haven't seen like sinister, like I don't care, no remorse Kevin Owens. But if we get it here, that's fine and it makes sense. But if we just go into a regular KO match, which is still good,
I think that you are going to have to ask. I think you're going to have to ask someone named Chris Jericho what they think about what you're saying. But I get it. But I also disagree because we've seen Kevin Owens just be really nasty to people.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him be at the Festival of Friendship, but when they had that match at WrestleMania, like.
I mean, like if we go back and bring it up, I feel like his career is so long that there have been many, many moments. But I think this segment just worked towards trying to develop a new persona for Kevin Owens, because otherwise he is going to be trapped in that cycle that he's been trapped in, where you feel like, well, I don't remember what he's even capable of. And this is what this is meant to do, remind you of that. And I like that. I like that they've taken the effort to create this monster version of Kevin Owens. I actually would prefer they create something so just so powerful or scary that it could take the title from Cody for a little bit, give him some challenge, some strife.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people saw, but in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, they were teasing 2 matches maybe for Saturday night's main event, with one of them being Cody versus Kevin Owens for the Undisputed WWE Championship. So maybe Kevin comes into this match and is just a complete monster and beats the hell out of Randy Orton and leaves him laying and bloody, which I wouldn't mind
that. They do the Brock Lesnar match from SummerSlam. I wanted to address Tony really fast because I think that's kind of the idea, though. I think this Triple H, this Paul Levesque, and I think that's why Randy says that line where he's like, I didn't call Paul Levesque out here. I called out the Cerebral Assassin. And Paul is like, reluctant to do it because again, Cerebral Assassin is dead. Cerebral Assassin has a pacemaker on.
Yeah.
So he's never gonna. If the segment lacked the oomph, it's because it felt like it was leading to a physical confrontation. But Triple H can't get physical, so you're never gonna get. If he's out there, it's never gonna have that oomph because he just can't. His heart. You want. I would love to see. Triple H come back just for one match, but like a bump could kill him. It's very scary stuff.
A flat back bump could kill him. Seriously,
scary stuff. But yeah, man, that's the opening segment on SmackDown. And following that, we had LA Knight coming out to referee the finals of the best of 7. They're calling it Game 7. I've seen that somewhere before. The match is going pretty well. I thought not up to the par of the other matches that they've had, but LA Knight comes in, hits them both with his finish, ruins it, declares himself the winner of Game 7. I thought that shit sucked.
It did suck. It sucked like, so fucking bad, dude. Fuck? It was so bad.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Why did we do this? I actually was really looking forward to seeing, and I had a fucking feeling, man. I'm like, why would they make LA Knight the referee of this finals? Because I know they probably figured just straight up doing it is not flashy enough. It doesn't have enough pizzazz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they gave it this old story thing where it leads to a triple threat. I hated the way we got here, but they already have had 6 matches, so I can see the logic. but being a person that likes pure wrestling, I'm like, fuck, this stinks. But I get it.
Yeah. I mean, It's kind of like the person that, did the whole entire project, and then the other person that's their partner signs their name on it and gets full credit for it, because he's announcing himself as the Game 7 winner, but it was Andrade and Carmelo Anthony going out there, or Carmelo Hayes, excuse me, going out there and killing themselves. Yeah, and killing themselves for 7 matches. And then you actually have a really good match going on here with LA Knight calling it right down the middle. And then just all of a sudden he gets a little, like, Hayes, Andre the Giant, like, push up, and Andrade lands on top of LA Knight, and LA Knight just goes completely crazy and just throws one of the guys over the announce table, gives the key to Andrade, and then Hayes comes in, and Hayes gets one, and he goes out and rings the bell himself and gets up on the announce. He looked like the biggest fucking dork doing that, dude.
So that's a heel turn, right? I feel like
it's no, because I think that no matter what LA Knight does right now, like, be shy of like going out there and beating the shit out of, like, like a Randy Orton or a Cody Rhodes or something, like really massive beatdown. I don't think he can do anything wrong, because LA Knight really never changed anything about his heel character.
Andrade and fucking Carmelo Hayes, you're just too low on the card to shift LA Knight. But
the thing is too is that LA Knight has never really changed. Changed his character. He just started going after bad guys.
No, for sure. But I wanted to address what Matthew was saying really fast. I imagine LA Knight is going to retain just because he's, I don't see Crown Jewel having anything major happening to it. But who knows? Who knows? We cut to a shot of the announcers doing their thing, and I noticed in the background, Big Mark, the GOAT, the TikTok star. I got host. Time to play the game.
Did you see the one? Did you see the one he did the other day?
I did not. I only see the viral ones. I don't actually go looking for them, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but I mean it.
My Instagram, it was the one where the little Dirk, when I fell down to my knees when the law came.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's great, man. I actually like him. I don't.
He's pretty cool.
Hate shit like that, but he's pretty cool.
He was doing something with Samantha Irvin, and then she left. So I was like, maybe the last thing she did was get him those tickets. But
that was Ricochet's fault that she left. Everybody knows that. Let's not talk about it.
Oh gosh. But anyway, we had Naomi out versus Candice LeRae, because earlier in the night, Nia Jax had told Tiffany Stratton that you were sick, but Candice did the job. She pinned Bayley last week. You couldn't do shit. So Candice is my new friend. And then Candice goes out there against Naomi, and she gets pinned thanks to interference from Indy Hartwell, drawing out Bayley to even the odds, allowing Candice LeRae to get, was it rolled up? Was that like a roll up? Like a weird roll up?
She hit her with the
she did hit her with something first.
Hit her with something, and then like kind of like rolled her up with her legs.
Yeah. So Candice takes the L, and I imagine this might be the end of her relationship with Nia Jax. And,
there was no mention of her on SmackDown next week.
and that was the end of that. I don't know if I didn't have any real thoughts of that match. I kind of just want to get to whatever it is we're getting to with Naomi and Bayley and Nia Jax. Like, we've been in the cycle with these three for a while, and I want to see something shift, something move. And they've been slowly teasing a Naomi heel turn, and it's like, when's it gonna fucking happen?
So now I want to ask you this: since War Games is coming up, do you think that they are building to a women's War Games match with like Nia Jax, Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, Tiffy, and maybe somebody else versus the Raw, like Raquel, what are they calling her now? Rodriguez?
Yeah, that's her name.
Liv Morgan, and then maybe a couple of other girls.
No, I don't see women's War Games this year. If only because the fucking Bloodline War Games match is still there, and that's probably gonna be a big deal. The double match thing was like Vince. I don't know if you noticed. Like, the Royal Rumble is probably the only one that they've kept because of the purpose that it serves.
Ladies one last year when Punk returned, because I know that was the main event. Did they open with one?
I don't remember a women's War Games.
let
If
me
they
see if
did,
they
that's
did.
fucked up. Tiffy Time needs a bye-bye, Matthew says. Tony Nese called Bailey Pam. And then, so we moved on from that, and we had probably the final segment that we're going to talk about tonight. Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Cody Rhodes and Gunther are having a face-off, not a match.
They did
Cody
have a women's War Games match.
What was it?
Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch defeat Damage Control, Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, Kairi Sane with Dakota Kai by pinfall.
Jesus.
30,
They don't have
33
nearly.
minutes.
They don't have nearly the women's star power this year to do something like that. But if they did, that would kind of stink. You saw the names that you were mentioning. I was like, what the fuck? No.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Cody comes out. He's trying to do his entrance, and he goes to hit the whoa, but no. Actually, Gunther shut that shit down. He makes his way out to the ring. Funny stuff. He shakes his little boy's hand. Shakes the little boy's hand. It's just like Cody. Walks up. Cody and Gunther have this promo. Hilariously, they cut this great promo against each other where they're basically like, I'm better champion. No, I'm the better champion. But they completely ignore the stupid ass crown jewel belt.
Thank God.
Like it doesn't even exist. It's just strictly about who's the better champion. Gunther or Cody basically claims to take on more company responsibilities. He's doing the media and all that stuff. And Gunther claims to be the workhorse champion. I'm bringing prestige to this world championship by being the best professional wrestler in the company. Gunther says Cody doesn't have the guts. And Cody says he'll take guts to end this conversation and start fighting. And then he does. I thought that was a good line.
That was a heel. That like Cody hitting him is definitely a heel move. Like
you're gonna have to because Gunther's so fucking big.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but
I think we said this before the stream. But when Ludwig Kaiser hit the ring like a house of fire, they cut the camera for like a half a second, and then they went back to like Gunther and Cody, and it looked like it was Randy Orton in the ring because Kaiser with the just the black trunks and the long shirt, like the Winnie the Pooh look. And Randy Orton's always coming out there Winnie the Poohing it with the shirt like kind of like over the bottom of the trunk. So for a second I was like, holy shit, was that Randy? And then they're like, Ludwig Kaiser. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
One thing I wanted to say was that Ludwig Kaiser was totally in the right to get in this ring and jump in there and help Gunther because Gunther got sucker punched. So like he was the total baby face coming in here to save his friend from this evil world champion from SmackDown. That is fucking excellent. Tony says the winner of that Saudi belt should auction it off for some children's cancer fund. That would actually be really. That would actually give it a meaning. That would give it more meaning than anything they could do with it now. I don't really have.
They're gonna lock it in the Saudi this year.
Pretty much. Would they say 150 diamonds? Whatever.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to that.
We'll never hear from it
belt.
again.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really enjoyed that Cody and Gunther made this about them, and even if people don't like this title, it doesn't matter. Like this is about champion versus champion.
Yeah.
So great promo there. What'd you think?
I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, I thought that these two legitimately looked like what a world champion should look like. Coming out, Cody even commenting on how nice Gunther's suit was. Gunther saying, do you think that just because you go to all these things that I'm not offered them? I say no, because I'm not out there trying to be Mr. Good Guy. I'm here trying to be a professional wrestler. He goes, my job is to defend this belt, not go out and gallivant with all of these fans. And then Cody hitting the babyface line. Well, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for these fans, we wouldn't be here. So it really put over like Gunther not really giving a shit about anything but himself, and Cody being a man of the people. So I think if they were going out there to accomplish that, they did a great job.
100%. So that was the final segment of SmackDown that we're going to talk about. The episode flew right by, just like this episode of Dirt Sheet Radio. But that brings us to our. I'm sorry, I just called baseball boring, and I got a whole bunch of people mad at me.
Baseball's boring as shit. Come at me, Curbside Hero, Instagram. Baseball is boring as shit.
Ironically, I am a New Yorker on the West Coast, so that's a baseball relevant fact for you tonight. That brings us to our Jobber of the Night. Jobber of the Night. Mac, I'm gonna let you go first, my friend.
So I'm gonna go with Candice LeRae because last week I don't know if that was a planned, like Tiffany had a day off or had like scheduled something and they planned putting Candice in all along, or if Tiffany was really sick and then they had to like go to Candice LeRae really quick. But if they went to planned, like, oh hey, we're gonna go Candice LeRae, you know, blah blah blah, and then just to have her pin Bayley, who's a former multi-time world champion last week, and then lose to Naomi tonight, and then from, you know, no spoilers, but reading the SmackDown results tonight, I did not see Candice LeRae's name come up one time in the segment with Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. So if they just had her pin Bayley out of nowhere last week and to lose to Naomi this week, goddamn, dude. And if we never see her like on TV besides Speed, and nobody watches that Elon fucking show, but I don't know, man. She just like, oh, last week, like, holy shit, they're gonna do something with Tiffy and they're gonna do something between Candice, and then to squash it in 1 week. I gotta go with Candice. Like, she lost to loser of every like major match. So what does that make her?
I think that's probably the most attention she's gotten on WWE television in a long time, and it came out of them having to use her. I guess because they didn't have access to Tiffany Stratton for whatever reason.
Remember, they had her on Raw saying that Maxine's dead brother was like an asshole or something for like 3 or 4 weeks.
And then they took her off entirely.
And they
buried Maxine.
And they did it this. They had her on TV for 3 weeks being a dickhead, and now they had her on TV for 3 weeks being a dickhead on both shows, and now she's gone.
Excellent. My jobber of the night. Or should I say jobbers? DIY.
You're breaking my heart,
John. We are jobbers. No, listen, man. Like I said, I love DIY so much. Yeah, that's why I hate fucking watching them like this. It wasn't that they lost. It's that the crowd didn't give a fuck about DIY. They didn't care. They didn't care so much that I feel like it dragged down the reaction from Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, man, that carried over.
It was rough. If Motor City Machine Guns were in there with the bloodline from the first place, I think people would have been a little more excited to see them. And that's wild. That doesn't make any sense to me. I can't believe that we're here right now. And so
earlier,
fucking
John, being a fan of a wrestler or being a fan of a tag team is you can still be a fan of them, but you also have to recognize when they suck. And I think that's pretty much what you were saying just now.
They were teasing, at least they're teasing like a breakup, and a breakup means that they'll have a new story. I'm more interested in them having a new story than I am with them separating. But if separating means they're gonna do something interesting on TV to make people remember that they're actually pretty cool when they try to use them significantly, then hell yeah. Like Tony Hayes says, Tommaso versus Orton. Like, I want to see some Tommaso singles programs, you know? I love Tommaso Ciampa too. He's one of the rare people, though. He's one of the rare wrestlers that I did not care about before WWE. Like, I've seen Tommaso Ciampa in so many Ring of Honors. When I was watching Ring of Honor, he was television champion. He was in the embassy. He was the crown jewel of the embassy. And I didn't give a fuck about him. I thought he was a bland, fake big guy on the indies because he used to work the big man style because everybody else was a little bit smaller, which is funny because he's very short in WWE.
Let me tell you, I thought the same thing. Like when he was doing the matches against like Matt Taven in Ring of Honor, and just pretty much being stagnant there with like the embassy. His breakout match for me, and it wasn't the Cruiserweight Classic. So I met Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa after they had filmed the Cruiserweight Classic. They were at Beyond Wrestling in Providence, Rhode Island at the Fett Music Hall. And I went up to them and I said, hey, I heard you guys had a great match in the Cruiserweight Classic. And they were both like, shit. I was like, okay. And then Tommaso Ciampa went out there and had a banger with Donovan Dijak. And the match blew the roof off the place. Johnny Gargano faced David Starr. We won't talk about him. And that was a great match as well. But those were like the two breakout matches that I was in attendance for, that I was like, oh shit, these guys are really like amazing. And that really turned my mind on Tommaso Ciampa, because at the time I was like, yeah, he's just kind of bland to me. But then him and Dijak went and tore the place down, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Ironically, I was a big Johnny Gargano fan already because I liked him in Dragon Gate. But tonight, unfortunately, regardless of our long history, I have to go with DIY as the jobbers of the night. That brings us to a little more cheery section of the show. Megastar of the night. That's right. It's time. Mac, who is your megastar?
I mean, come on. It's the Motor City Machine Guns. I can't say enough about Motor City. I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I'm going to really date myself, but I've been watching wrestling since WrestleMania 8. And I've seen a lot of tag teams: Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, Beer and Money, America's Most Wanted, a lot of tag teams. But the one that always stood out to me was the Motor City Machine Guns. And TNA, Impact, whatever you wanted to call it back then, in New Japan, just everywhere, man. And, I think the people saying that this is too soon for the Motor City Machine Guns are the people that don't know the history of Motor City, and maybe it's just ignorance, but me and you, John, we're old Ring of Honor guys, we're old New Japan guys, we go way back, we know all the history, and seeing these two guys finally get their due tonight was just amazing. I mean, look at the messages I was sending you in the chat, like, John, I think this is happening tonight. No, it's not next week, John, it's tonight. And I was like, holy fucking shit. Alex Shelley, if you look at any tag teams coming up, especially DIY, they were all inspired by the Motor City Machine Guns. I think the Motor City Machine Guns took a lot of their stuff from the old tag team in Ring of Honor and CZW, the Backstreet Boys. But I can't say enough about Motor City Machine Guns, man. I would take up the whole rest of the stream. I could talk for hours. I'm just so happy for them. I love them.
Yeah, and it's hard to pick anybody else tonight. They were at a crossroads. They had a decision to make. They could have gone with a comfortable route. They could have gone with friends.
Yeah.
They could have been guaranteed this moment. Yeah. But they decided to do something a little more challenging. They went to WWE, and they almost ended up in NXT. Circumstances happen. They come to the main roster. They get strapped up immediately. It's fucking incredible. Actually. I can't believe that I saw this. I can't believe the Gorillas of Destiny versus the Listen to this shit. The Usos helped the Motor City Machine Guns win the WWE Tag Team Championships from the Gorillas of Destiny. What the fuck is that sentence? That's something out of Extreme Wrestling Revolution or fucking TEW or something.
If I had gone back to 2016 and saw you in a Ring of Honor line and I said that to you, you probably would have looked at me and been like, we're not friends anymore, dude. Get the fuck away from me.
It's crazy. Crazy. Tony Hayes says, how old are you guys? I'm old, man. I'm 33.
Old enough to know a lot more about wrestling than the average person.
But yeah, man, that's Megastar of the Night. Now, I want to ask you guys, did you have fun? If you enjoyed being here, let me tell you, this ain't it. Dershi Radio is on every day, man. We do shows after Monday. That's the wrong graphic. We do shows after Monday Night Raw. We do shows after Tuesday Night NXT, Wednesday Night Dynamite, Thursday Night Impact, of course, Friday Night SmackDown. On Saturdays, our boys CJ and Tyler, they have the wrestling, or on Sundays, the weekend wrestling roundup. It's been off for a couple weeks. Oh my God, that was disgusting. Jesus Christ.
You okay,
can't believe that happened. I almost died.
Yeah.
Anyway, 3NT podcast every Sunday. Check out Danny Ocean's Bad Blood vlog. Your boy was press at Bad Blood.
Yeah.
Check out his experience. And of course, the flagship, the mothership, Dershi Radio, the main show, the news show. We talk about the last 7 days of professional wrestling. It's incredible. This Sunday, we'll be talking about WWE NXT Halloween Havoc.
And I will be in the comments because I will be at work.
So definitely check that out. It'll be Tyler with us. I'm not sure if CJ can make it, but it will be WWE NXT Halloween Havoc post-show rewind this Sunday. Tyler and Monday Night Molly. They'll be there. But yeah, man, thank you all for joining us very much. I love you guys.